Živio, Heather Trevar Tukaj, you're a Slovenian citizen diplomat. In this video, we'll continue talking about how Slovenia treats its immigrant children in its school system. We'll be looking at the article I have on the screen here. I will make that link available to you in the comments below. And you should know that this is written by the director of the Office for the Development and Quality of Education, which is under the Ministry of Education. So I do consider this to be a reliable resource. Now let's dive right in to equal conditions for all. And basically what this is saying is that if you are a Slovene without Slovenian citizenship, if you're a member of the EU, if you're a foreign national from a country with reciprocity with Slovenia, and what reciprocity means is that if Slovenia does this for you, you'll do this for Slovenia. Then you can enroll your child. In fact, not only can you, but you are entitled to enroll your child in the Slovenian school system. This also applies to refugees. Now, that's great, but if these children don't learn the Slovenian language, they're dead in the water. How are they going to do anything if they cannot learn the Slovenian language? So this is addressed by the development of resources. In 2014, there was a big push, which you can read about here, to develop resources to teach Slovenian as a foreign and second language. It's not that there were never no resources available, but with the Syrian refugee crisis and with other refugees coming through Slovenia, it became important to develop more of these resources and make more of a concerted effort. It is a small country. There aren't a lot of people immigrating with an I or immigrating with an E to from there, but with the refugees, it became a bigger deal. So they made an effort to figure out how to deal with the situation so that the children could be integrated into the educational system. Why? Why in the world do we even care? Well, we care, at least they do in Slovenia, because they want to accomplish the efficient integration of children into the education system with the goal of improving their integration into society and improving their position on the labor market. What they're saying, it seems very clear to me, is that Slovenia wants the immigrant children to be integrated into the school system so they can be integrated into society and they can be productive individuals who are able to work and produce for society and for themselves and their families. I think that's a pretty amazing statement because we have such a strong anti-immigrant attitude in the US right now. I think that this is a really strong statement and a very positive statement because what we're saying is, and it goes back to the Slovenian constitution, we treat human beings like human beings. Children are also human beings. So we treat children like human beings. And this is part of it. So this is great. And but again, why is Slovenia so concerned with integrating these children into their society? Well, they talk in this article here about the multicultural education system being important because human rights oblige us to respect the dignity of every individual and to respect the plurality of cultures and promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations. The time for imperialism is over. The time for developing the positive aspects of our cultures is now. We are learning more and more about each other every day, and we should be able to take those positive aspects and try to incorporate them into our own cultures, and I think that's what they're saying here. Now, what about children of immigrants who come to Slovenia illegally? Because what we've been talking about here are people who have a right to be in Slovenia, which includes refugees or asylees. Well, if we go to the Global Detention Project and we scroll down, let me find the section for you really quick. Here we are. Children who are in detention are placed in elementary school and have permission to exit the center to attend school. Under the Aliens Act, children in detention should have access to games and recreational activities appropriate to their age. Again, I think that's a pretty strong statement. We're going to ensure that even children in detention go to school. They don't go to school in the detention center. They leave, they go to school. And when they're in the detention center, they should have access to games and recreational activities. I know that it is much simpler said than done. I know that it is not easy to incorporate new facets of another culture into your own culture because we're dealing with an entire system. What I am saying is that I hope that we can look at the Slovenian Constitution and how they approach human rights of children, and we can incorporate that here as well. Instead of being afraid of something that is different and hating something that is different, I hope that we will recognize that everyone's a human being and we need to treat children as human beings and promote their education so that they can grow up to be good members of society. Until next time, adio.